This episode is proudly sponsored by Daisy Maid Farm, Skellingthorpe, Lincoln. Fabulous ice cream and loads for the kids to do all year round. This is the Links Pod and I'm John Marshall. This is the podcast for Lincolnshire and this is our half-term special.
Links Pod. Tales and entertainment for the people of Lincolnshire with John Marshall.
Welcome to episode 8 of the Links Pod. I'm John Marshall. The kids are driving you up the wall. You need my help and I'm here to help. The Links Pod has its half-term special. Now we can't cover everywhere. There's so many wonderful things to do across Lincolnshire, but we've picked some mighty fine places and I'm sure we can keep the kids smiling. There's the big quiz. There's a challenge or two for me along the way. And let's get underway. First stop just off the Skellingthorpe roundabout in Lincoln.
From the Humber to the Wash, Links Pod with John Marshall.
Tell us the history of Daisy Maid. How long's it been here, Dave?
Right, we opened, I think it was in June 1992.
Wow.
The same year Links FM came on air.
I remember that.
And, yeah, I thought you might.
Place,
yeah. It's grown from there. We had a little wooden hut. I think we had just one of these smaller serving freezers in it, a Bransby Bunny wooden hut, garden hut.
On this location, though?
Exactly here on the same site, yeah, and the cars could actually drive right up to the door on the grass.
What was the origination of the idea then? Because
well, we had milk,
right,
and we thought, well, what can we turn the milk into? Ice cream, why not? We're getting into the leisure side of things, which is a nice industry to be in.
Seriously, was that a diversifying thing for farming?
Well, it was, yeah, and there were grants available to help us into it because it was all done on a bit of a shoestring budget at the time. And I think the first day we was open, I think we took £100.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, this is great. This is.
And was that first batch of ice cream made here as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Was
yes,
it?
Yeah.
So,
my wife and a friend were we had a little factory that we made round near the house in an outbuilding, and
wow, I would have said that was quite an investment to think, first thing, let's invest in the stuff to make the ice cream. I mean, you could have just bought it in and started selling it
we did consider that, and it would have been a better way, a more profitable way to start. Yeah. But no, we thought let's if we're going to do
let's
it,
jump in.
And,
so what was the first flavour, do you remember?
I mean, vanilla's always your industry standard, if you like, but there was one flavour that we brought out, which no doubt my wife and a friend were messing around a little bit, and they made a batch of ice cream, and they said, did you put the flavouring in? No, I thought you did. And so we had a batch of ice cream with no added flavour.
No flavour?
And everybody thought, wow, this is great.
Sounds like my cooking.
Yeah. Well, it's got no added flavour, but you really got the taste of the milk and the cream and everything that was in it. And so we called that Pure Daisy.
Is she here?
I'm saying this, I hope there is. It's always on. Oh, there we are at the end. Pure Daisy is still on to this day. Traditional ice cream, no added flavour. And
I see. You didn't just write on here the one we forgot to add anything to.
No, you couldn't fit it in.
So Pure Daisy.
Pure Daisy, and I think that's probably been one of our best sellers all the way through. Yeah, and it is really nice with a dessert if you're having apple pie or something.
Yeah. Plain with the sweet.
Yeah, just plain traditional ice cream.
I like it. Now, since I came here last, I came here once and milked one of your cows. I'm not doing that today, Dave.
No.
There's such a difference. There's so much expansion if people haven't been down here for a long time. Talk about some of that, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, we've basically, as we've outgrown the building and the site, we've expanded the car park. We had extra parking, then extra parking, then extra. It just went on and on. And so now we've got parking for, I don't know, a couple of hundred cars, really. The building, we swapped the little wooden hut for a bigger wooden hut, then we extended the wooden hut, then we added the drive-through at the back, which was quite a big thing, and that worked brilliantly, which obviously now it's still there to this day with 2 drive-through hatches now.
Wow.
Then we got planning permission for our first proper brick building. That's been extended.
We're in it now.
We're in it now, yes, and it's been extended 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
And we're always sort of scratching our heads thinking, well, what do we do next?
And it's not just ice cream here as well. You can have a breakfast and lunch.
We do, yeah. We've got breakfast, lunch, paninis, coffees, all that sort of thing.
You name it. You can have the day out here as well because there's also lots of things for the kiddies to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a nice play area now, which we'll probably have a look at in a bit. We've got a crazy golf course.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of little diggers you can ride on and put a pound in and dig a hole in some sand.
Brilliant.
We have a bouncy castle, and we've got Land Rovers, little Land Rover off-road course for the kids.
I'm itching to get out then, and you're going to...
But they're not running it, but the bouncy castle's not up to date.
Right, I can't bounce?
No.
And you're going to show us backstage as well, where the ice cream's made.
We can have a look in.
That's what I want to see as well, Dave.
Factory,
yeah.
Yes.
And then I would like to also eat ice cream.
Well,
will that be okay?
I think we can
work our way up to
as long
that.
as if you can scoop it,
if a bit,
you can eat it.
I've got to scoop it. Okay. After a Daisy Maid Ice Cream chat, it was time for a Daisy Maid Ice Cream challenge.
We've now got the ice cream scooping challenge. We've got Harry, our super scooper.
That's Harry.
Yeah.
I'm not Harry. Yeah.
Against John, who has just had a practice go, and it was a bit of a miserable effort, really. But we're going to see who can scoop 3 ice creams the quickest.
Yeah, Harry, just a bit of history, Harry. Have you done this for a long time?
It's my 4th year now.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
Of all the staff, Dave has suggested that you're the man to defeat me on a 3-scoop challenge. Oh, you look quite confident.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You would?
I would, yeah.
That's because you saw me in rehearsal. That's why. Okay. 3.
So we're looking at 3 as quick as you can, and I'm going to put a timer on it just so we know where we are.
Okay. Are you ready? So you count us in, Dave, when you're ready.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Are we all ready? Have you washed your? Give your scoop
No,
a quick.
I've got
so
to
you're all ready. That's it. Right.
I'm
Okay then.
ready.
On your marks.
Yeah.
Get set.
Scoop.
Scoop.
Scoop. Oh, I see the technique he's done. He scoops while he's placing. He scoops while he's placing. Look at him. Look at him. 4 years. Have you finished?
Wow. Well, actually, you've not done a bad job there, John. I'm impressed.
When do I start?
Yeah, I can just see that.
If you get here quick, you can have these for free.
Small child's face crumpling as he licks it and it falls off the cone. But
yeah, it's not stable, is it?
It's not stable. You've got to press. You've got to press them on.
Harry is stabilised.
But see, Harry, just looking at the quality, we've got 3 nice even scoops there, and I would be proud to serve them to our customers. We've got a bit of variation. That one's a bit on the small side. That one is falling off the side.
Yes,
but
it is.
Yeah, it's probably not too bad. That one is a bit flat, but I think Harry's definitely the victor.
They're all taste the same, mate.
You can't eat them before.
All taste the same.
But they do. But that wasn't a bad effort, actually. Not a bad effort.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Harry.
And after a Daisy Maid Ice Cream chat and then a Daisy Maid Ice Cream challenge, it was time for a Daisy Maid Ice Cream quiz.
On your marks, get set, start the clock. Number 1, who is the only American president that has resigned from office?
Yeah, we know. In the Vietnam War.
Give the answers to Dave.
Nixon.
Dave,
Yeah.
Number 2. In which crisis in 1956 did England become involved? 1956.
Suez.
Well, number 2. What does a Geiger counter measure?
Radioactivity.
Number 4. What is a young pilchard called?
An egg.
Number 5. I'm taking that answer. Oh, you're changing for sardine.
Sardine, yeah.
Right, number 5. Who is the song American Pie written about?
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin. Number 6. Born in Hammersmith, 1985, whose first mainstream single, Smile, reached number 1 in the UK singles chart in 2006?
Lily Allen.
Oh, I think this is going well. Number 7. The Nou Camp Stadium is in which Spanish city? Madrid. Number 8. How many Olympic gold medals did Steve Ovett win?
4.
Number 9. Who? That's the timer gone off. Who in 2020 became the first female to play Doctor Who?
Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, and number 10. Where do tribbles first appear? Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek. Yeah.
Stop the clock. Right, let's go through them. It has
Looking
gone all
whether
right,
it's got
Daisy,
any
mate.
right, yeah.
You should hold your heads high here. The only US president to resign, Richard Nixon. The England became in the crisis, the Suez crisis. Well done. Geiger counter measures radioactivity, radiation. Yes, 3 out of 3. A young pilchard is a sardine. American Pie was written about Buddy Holly.
Oh, Buddy Holly,
Yeah. 6, The Smile, Lily Allen. 7, Camp Nou Camp, Barcelona.
No.
However, you should have shouted
should have
up.
known then.
The Olympic.
That wasn't the question though. If you'd asked where's Dawn been?
Yeah, where have you been, Dawn? Yeah. Gold medals for Steve Ovett. How many did you say?
4.
It's 1.
Oh.
Doctor Who, first female, Jodie Whittaker. And
Well
Tribbles is Star Trek. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 points, Daisy Maid. Yes.
Too bad, yeah.
Never miss an episode of Links Pod. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.
One of the things I love about the Links Pod is getting feedback. So drop me a comment whenever you can or email john@linkspod.co.uk. Rachel Penny in Lincoln has done that. She says, great show, John. I love the mix of the old and the new, the nostalgia and the Lincolnshire history. It is fabulous, darling. And then she goes on to say this. Has anyone told you you look like Jack, the forensic pathologist of Silent Witness? This is from a few metres away, and it would be in a murky murder scene. But in those circumstances, you do look like Jack the forensic pathologist of Silent Witness. Now, I don't know who this is. Do I? I've been told in the past I look a bit like Elon Musk and a bit like Nicolas Cage. What do you think? Nicolas Cage, now he's older. Yeah. Are any of these things true, or is Rachel Penny talking nonsense? john@linkspod.co.uk to let me know. Thanks. This episode is proudly sponsored by Daisy Maid Farm, Skellingthorpe, Lincoln. Fabulous ice cream and loads for the kids to do all year round. Now let's continue our travels for half term and meet some wildlife.
Links Pod with John Marshall.
I'm Neil Mumby, and you're at Woodside Wildlife Park, soon to become Lincoln Zoo.
Yes, it's soon to be called Lincoln Zoo. So there's a rebrand going on, as they call it, in the trade. What's that all about, Neil?
We've been Woodside Wildlife Park for a long time, and we've done a lot of visitor surveys, talked to people in the business, in the visitors, everybody. And people say, well, they don't really know what that is or where that is. So we've looked at it, and Lincoln Zoo tells you where we are and tells you what we are, and it really helps us with portraying the fact that we're into international conservation, and we're working with zoos all across the world to save species. So the word zoo helps us with that.
Right. And how long has this been here as Woodside?
24 years.
Has it?
Long time. Man and boy.
Wow. Your passion for the wildlife comes from where, Neil?
A boy. When I was a boy, I've always loved birds. So bird watching as a boy, and I've just always been interested, whether it's amphibians and snakes and reptiles and birds and animals or plants, everything to do with the countryside. I just love woodlands, and anything outdoors is me. That's me.
Some of the animals that you have here have been sort of rescued or brought over from not the best conditions, and here they are in a nice environment.
Yeah, not many. We did that early on with the tigers, but now it's more grown up, it's more managed. So we're currently bringing a female tiger in from France and a male tiger in from Germany as part of an international breeding program. We're bringing a bear in from Singapore and another bear from Germany. So we've got lots and lots of animal moves going on, but they're all part of international cooperation to save species.
Right. And you've just been to Singapore yourself to visit the bear that's going to come and live here.
I have.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How was that?
Amazing. To be fair, in the last 2 months, I've been to see the one in Leipzig Zoo in Germany.
Wow.
And I've been to the one in Singapore, just to make sure they've got 4 feet and 2 ears and 2 eyes.
And has the naming happened already, or do you do that later on?
They've got names.
Oh, have they?
So the only naming we get are youngsters, really. So when we bred 6 of these penguins. We're in with the penguins at the minute. And we bred 6 of those, so we had to name those.
Right.
Don't ask me what they are.
We are in with the penguins, Neil, and I'm wearing this, which is pretty sexy. And I thought as we came in here, because you've got some fish in there, that the penguins would come straight over and know it was time.
Well, they did get fed. I think when we walked in, the keeper said, I did feed them an hour ago.
Yeah.
So I'm sure in a minute or two,
There'll be some
tempt
interest.
them across.
Okay,
but,
let's
at
see.
the minute, we'll...
Do they have names, Neil?
Yes, yeah, this one's a Baumber.
A Baumber.
A Baumber. Hello, a Baumber.
Hello, a Baumber.
So I'm sure if you
yeah,
try and give a Baumber a fish...
Let's see. Have you got this, Kez? This is my big moment, look. Yeah, that was a little bit frightened there, but I think I'm getting into the rhythm of it. Oh, a Baumber's pretty peckish, actually. Yes. Another one? Yes. Neil, what are the plans moving forward for the Lincoln Zoo, as it's now going to be known? From when?
We haven't got a date, but it'll be the first week in April.
Okay.
Really. So
right.
that's when we're going to launch. We've just built a new enclosure, and the bears that we've just been speaking about, which are sloth bears, they'll be in there and they'll be linked to the rebranding, and they'll be open to visit at that time.
Wow, amazing. Okay. Well, this episode's all about half term. A lot of people expected half term. I expect down here.
It's a busy time, half term.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. It's always a challenging one because the grass car parks are always a bit wet.
Oh yeah,
but
of course.
No, it's nice and it's lovely. I love it when after a long winter that February half term comes and we see the happy faces of the kids. So it's amazing. It really is. I love it.
Amazing for you. You're doing great work, Neil. Good luck with the rebrand and everything. Let's have a bit more of a look round.
Okay.
I feel like I've passed my induction, which was the lynx. What's happening now?
We're going to feed Julia. She's a female tiger, and what you've got to do is you've got to throw it over that fence.
Is that
5.5 meters tall?
Is that how the always fed the tigers?
In front of the public to show them, we will, and you can see here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a piece of deer, and
It's
it's
like
got
part of another tiger.
It's got the fur on it, so
Right.
the fur helps her digestive system.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to throw the first piece.
Okay,
on,
Neil.
And then hopefully I get it over.
Yeah, this will be embarrassing if the man himself don't get it over.
And she'll chase after it, and she'll
Will
get
she?
it.
She's ready. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on, Neil. Oh yeah. No hanging about. That was what she'd do to me if I was in there now.
Possibly.
Same thing.
Let's not try that one.
Let's not give that a go. Is she by herself?
She is. They're a solitary animal.
Right.
We'd only really put them together to breed.
Oh, okay.
And she's very old.
And if you did put them together and they didn't want to breed, they'd fight?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's quite a process to introduce them.
Okay.
Some are easier and
Yeah.
some will live together.
Okay.
But naturally they're a solitary animal.
So if they were in the wild, they would go off and be by themselves as well?
I've been lucky enough that I'm just back from India, and we were watching tigers in the wild there, and the only time you saw them with another tiger was when they'd got their cubs with them.
Really?
Apart from that, they're always on their own.
Interesting. Okay, my
So
moment
grab
has
yourself
come.
a piece. I'm going to stand back.
I would.
Because I don't really want hitting with it. And
No.
just give her a minute. She's still finishing
She's still
up
having that one.
piece, look.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not ready for pudding yet.
People often ask, why are they orange? Can't the other animals
Good
see
question.
them if
Wish I
they're
thought of
orange?
that one. Yeah. Yeah, go on.
And, well, deer see the orange as green.
Oh, do they?
So it makes perfect sense when you think about it.
Oh, I see.
Right, she's
ready. Okay, Kez, this is going to be the best throw you've ever seen. Okay, it's going. Yes!
Well done.
Over. I mean, some would call that a better throw than yours, Neil.
Well, some.
Some? That's great. What's the tiger called?
Julia.
Julia. Which sounds a very calm name, doesn't it? But
Yeah, she's
not
a bit
quite-
grumpy from time
Is
to
she?
time, I must say. Yeah.
Is she? Do you find the same
but
with the male tigers?
she's very
or-
old
right,
now.
okay,
Although
yeah.
no, the male ones are calmer, more
Aren't they?
chilled, more relaxed.
So it's,
Females a bit.
mirrors human life.
Some might say.
Neil, what is that?
That is Julio, and he's a star of attraction. He's wonderful. He's a Brazilian tapir.
That's amazing. I've never seen a tapir. I don't think I've seen a tapir. What a nose he's got on him.
It's great, isn't it?
That's the best nose I've ever seen.
It is great.
That's brilliant. And is he sniffing out this sweet potato
He is,
right
he
now?
is. Look, if I just give him that, you see, he'll just take it out of my hand and.
Mind
we'll
your
let
hand,
him have
Neil.
it, look. No, he's as gentle as a lamb.
Is
he
he?
really is. He's a super little
Can
fella.
I pet him, or will
Yes,
he not like
yeah,
that?
really slow. He's quite jumpy.
Is he?
Not
I don't
that he's
upset him.
nervous, but he's.
He likes a sweet potato.
He does, yeah. He'll
Doesn't
be
he?
after your little sweet potato.
Here
now.
we go. I'm going to feed. There you go, mate. There you go. No hanging about there. And how do you discover that each animal what it would like? You just try them with a sweet potato, or I don't know what I mean.
He gets a really varied diet.
Oh, really?
A massively varied diet, which has got quite a lot of vegetables in it.
Okay.
And then when you put a mixture down, he'll choose the one that he likes best. So that's the
Really?
one
That's
we.
how- wow.
So we realise, Alex, could we just have another couple of bits?
Yes. Thank you, Alex. This is incredible. Oh,
He knows that Alex has got a bucket.
You've got more. Here we are, my friend. Come on. How many times a day would you need to feed him?
Alex will tell us that better
Alex,
than me, to be
come
honest.
on.
He gets fed twice a day.
Twice a day.
So in the morning he gets a pelleted feed, and then in the afternoon he gets his veg and occasionally a little bit of fruit.
Oh.
But they've also got access to hay all day.
Okay, I don't want to look. That's absolutely horrible. This might not last long. Oh my Lord. I've got a tarantula on my head. And she's called Sharon, is that right?
Sharon the tarantula.
Okay. Am I any risk of death?
No. She has got some venom, but only potent enough to kill an insect.
Are you sure about that? I mean, have you double checked? I'm not moving. Does she seem quite settled on my head?
Yeah, she's...
There's a tarantula on my head. There is currently a tarantula on my head. That's a close-up, isn't it? Of a tarantula on my head. And cut.
From Grimsby to Sleaford, Scunthorpe to Mablethorpe, this is Links Pod.
This is the Links Pod, the podcast for Lincolnshire. I'm John Marshall. Normally at this point, or some point on the Links Pod, there's a list of what's-ons, but this entire episode is kind of a load of what's-ons. So I'll just mention stuff that I'm doing, if that's okay. It is my podcast. The Wigan Mitre, Tuesday in Lincoln's Bailgate. It's quiz night. Also on Tuesday, I've got a hygienist appointment at the dentist, but you don't need to come to that. Just come to the quiz at the Wigan Mitre. The King's Head at Navenby's happening on Wednesday. That's quiz night, as is the Bistro at Market Raisin on Thursday. And this, I loved it last weekend, I'm sure I will this weekend, is my second weekend on the radio. Not ever, but my little run going on at the BBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 until 2, in for Sean Dunderdale on BBC Radio Lincolnshire and BBC Radio Humberside. Please have a listen. You'll love it. It's good. It's good. What a station. Local. You don't get that much these days. Sponsor plea time on our half-term special from the Links Pod. Would you be a business that could sponsor an episode of the Links Pod? We're nearly full for season 1. It'll end on March the 3rd, and then season 2 starts on the 24th of March. There is so much to come. If you've got a business that could do with advertising something for spring, summer, autumn, winter, whenever, let's talk about what I can offer you, because people who've sponsored previous episodes, they're getting good feedback. Some good stuff is happening. It's john@linkspod.co.uk to make contact. All right, let's continue our journey across the county.
Links Pod.
I'm Sonia Elton, and you're at the Walled Garden in Baumber.
And what an amazing place. I was just saying as I arrived, I'm not sure if I've ever been here, maybe many, many years ago, Sonia, but what a place. Tell us a bit of the history of it. How long has it been here?
Well, the garden's 200 years old. We know that because when we were clearing ivy off the walls, we found a finish brick which said 1826. So we know that we're approaching a 200-year-old birthday.
That's incredible. And you don't look old enough to have been here the whole time.
No, not quite.
Not quite, Sonia. So what's the history of the place as far as ownership goes?
Well, it was attached to Sturton Hall, and it was the walled garden where they grew all the fruit and vegetables. In the 1950s, the estate was split up and sold when the last squire had died. And my grandfather was the tenant farmer of this part of the farm. He bought this bit, farmed his bit, and a family owned the walled garden. And when they wanted to retire, they approached my father, who was then the farmer, and said, was he interested in buying it? And he raised the funds to buy it because it was in the middle of the farm, but it wasn't big enough to actually grow anything arable crop-wise. And the house wasn't in a condition that it could be let out because there was no electricity or heating or anything like that. So it was closed for 30 years. And then I came back from my travels and living and working in Manchester as a theatre designer, and needed somewhere to live. So thought, I'll renovate this cottage, which was completely derelict. I'd done a bit of decorating before and a few bits and bobs, never a renovation on that scale. So it was quite an interesting project, took a year. And then I moved in, met and married my husband, and we had 2 little boys, and we cleared the bit immediately in front of the cottage as a little garden. And we thought, what on earth are we going to do with the rest of it? It's nearly 4 acres. So bit by bit, over around 10 years, we started to clear each section, mainly stripping ivy back, mowing, getting rid of nettles, cutting trees down that were going to fall down. The buildings were all derelict, all the old greenhouses were gone, everything was gone. And every time we had a bit of spare cash, we employed our builder and friend Nigel to come along. We used to say, we've got £5,000, Nigel, can you come and repair a section of the wall? And he would come, set up his scaffold, repair a bit, move it along, and when he got to his £5,000, he'd say, right, you spent up, I'm going, ring me back when you've got a bit more
money required
yeah.
now. Okay, brilliant. We're here in the depths of winter, and you're not open today, but you do open in the winter, don't you?
We do. We have had a short break for Christmas and New Year, so all the staff can have a break, really. And we open again Tuesday, the 14th of January, and we're open Tuesday to Friday and Sundays every week. Now, in the winter, we open at 10 and we close at 3. In the summer, we open until a bit later.
Okay. I've got to compliment you on these sofas, by the way. Did you have these recovered to suit your taste?
No, not at all. I found one by accident, thought that's quirky, a bit like the rest of the garden, bought it, and then collected the others from a series of second-hand purchases on Facebook.
They're amazing. Absolutely fantastic. And this room we're in now, you use not only as a cafe at some times of the year, but also you can have a wedding here.
Yes, this is a wedding and an event centre. So coming up, we've got a health and wellbeing weekend in February. We've also got a tea dance on Valentine's Day in the afternoon. A lot of our customers are older clients. They don't like travelling at night, so we do a lot of daytime things. We go into March and we've got all sorts of things. All year it goes on, arts and crafts fairs. We try and support local Lincolnshire produce and people as much as we can, and that includes crafters, that includes musicians. They come in the summer and play. Food and drink, because there's so much good stuff in Lincolnshire that we're really very keen on that. And we've got a big event in May which is called Celebrate Lincolnshire, which is new to us, and we're going to have everybody who comes from or lives in Lincolnshire who makes and produces stuff from our county in here and in the gardens. It's going to be a fabulous event.
Amazing. And you wanted to talk about some support work you do here as well for people with some mental health issues.
Yeah, people with mental health issues, people that struggle to get through winter, people that just need a bit of company and a bit of warmth. And the heaters will be on in here, and it's a lovely big space. And we're going to, people can come along, even if they're on their own. We'll have a jigsaw table set up, we'll have a card table, we'll have a chessboard. But we're specifically aiming some days for certain things. So on Wednesday, we're going to have laughter with the crafter, and Sarah is our crafter.
What a great name.
Sarah is our crafter. You just bring something along, bring your knitting, bring your crochet, come and do a bit of sewing. It's an excuse to sit down and talk to like-minded people and meet new people and just get out of the house for a couple of hours. It doesn't cost anything to come here, just maybe a cup of tea or a scone or whatever you want. So it's just to get out and feel better that you've been out and done something in winter. On a Thursday, we're going to have Chirping Chappies, and that's a gents club for anyone, again, who wants to come out and just chat or just, have a game of chess, game of cards, or just sit and meet other people.
Sonia, that's fantastic. And by the way, you're a great talker. You've made my job easy. I don't even need to be here today. How many staff here, Sonia?
At the last count, we've got around 28, but we do employ and encourage young people to come and work here as well. We have our full-time teams and we have our management team, but we, especially as we get busy in the summer months, we bring a lot of young people in. They start at 14.
Wow.
Some of them carry on going to college in Lincoln or university in Lincoln. They still come to us, and they can progress from chopping the cabbage for the coleslaw to washing up, and then 2 or 3 years they're behind the bar doing the weddings and so it's lovely, and we love having them here because they keep us young as well, and it's great to be able to train them and see them grow in confidence and progress.
Fantastic. The walled gardens at Baumber, just watch your sat-nav if you're arriving here as well, because it throws you off a little bit, doesn't it?
We can only be reached from the A158. Don't go on any of the back roads or you'll end up in a field full of deer.
True, and it tried to turn me on the A158 a little early. I'm nearly in somebody's drive, I think, but I found you in the end.
Good.
And then I convinced Sonia at the walled gardens at Baumber that she should definitely take part in the big quiz round 2.
Links Pod with John Marshall.
You like a quiz, don't you, Sonia?
I quite like a quiz. I'm not very good though.
Well, it doesn't matter how you do on this quiz. Don't worry about it. It's no prize. It's just for glory.
Right.
Are you ready? OK, well, let's start the clock. Here we go. Number 1. Which Derbyshire market town is associated with an almond-flavoured pudding?
Bakewell.
Number 2. In Cockney rhyming slang, what is a rozzer?
Policeman.
Number 3. When a cat is walking, are its legs on one side in step or not? It's a yes or no, Sonia.
No.
You're going for no. Number 4, a French town associated with Saint Bernadette is a major pilgrimage centre for Roman Catholics. What place is that?
Lourdes.
Number 5, who had a hit with Caravan of Love?
I can't remember the name of
Pass?
Yes,
She's
pass.
passed. Number 6, which All Saints single begins with this line: I've crossed the desert for miles, swam water for time, searching places to find a piece of something to call mine. You a big All Saints fan?
No, I don't know anything about music.
Music's your weakness, I can
Yes,
tell.
yes. Pass.
Pass. 7, which sport did Lindsay Davenport play?
Oh, tennis?
Number 8, which county cricket club has its headquarters at the Oval?
Yes. Well, Kent. County.
No. You've gone for Kent?
No. Yes.
Oh,
No.
you're still thinking?
Pass.
9, which film did the character Tony Manero first appear? You do know this one, but it might not come to you. When I tell you the answer, you'll go,
Yeah,
John.
it's pass.
Question 10, last one. Who played Lord Grantham in Downton Abbey?
Oh, that's on the television, isn't it?
It is.
I'm not good at television and music and things. I'm better at gardening. Lord, that old bloke. Thingy-mabob.
Thingy-mabob. OK, stop the clock. Let's do the marking. No, I'm afraid no questions on gardening, was there? Which is pretty cruel of me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which Derbyshire market town is associated with an almond-flavoured pudding? Bakewell. I think you've done well, by the way. Cockney rhyming slang, a rozzer is a policeman. A cat walking, the legs on one side, are they in step or not? They are. They move at the same time, yeah. Number 4, the French town associated, yes, that's Lourdes. 5, Caravan of Love, that's the House Martins.
Oh, yeah.
6, All Saints, with those lyrics, the answer was Pure Shores.
Right.
Tough one, that was. 7, Lindsay Davenport played tennis. The county cricket club headquarters, the Oval, is Surrey.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Manero, Saturday Night Fever.
Oh,
Remember how I strutted in here?
If you've done that.
Yeah, or one of my dance moves, you'd have definitely got me. 10, Lord Grantham, played by Hugh Bonneville. So, but you've done pretty well, I think. So you got 1, 2, 3 for Lords, 4 for Lindsay, 4. Oh, 4. You got off to a better start than it ended up.
Yeah.
4 points scored at the Walled Gardens at Baumber. Well done, Sonia.
From the Humber to the Wash. Links Pod with John Marshall.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Daisy Maid Farm, Skellingthorpe, Lincoln. Fabulous ice cream and loads for the kids to do all year round. One more stop on our half-term special, and it's to meet a man who made us a lovely cuppa and provided biscuits too. That's a little note for anyone else who I might be coming along to interview. Biscuits. They're nice, aren't they? Nice touch. Anyway, this is a man who wants you to get lost. He's the owner of Wragby Maze.
Well, I'm Ted Dodds, and you're at the Wragby Maze, but you're in my front room at the moment.
Yes. Instead of, I said, let's go to the Wragby Maze, and we've ended up in your front room, which is next to the Wragby Maze, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's have some history, Ted, of the Wragby Maze. Has it been your maze forever?
Yep. We bought the land that we're stood on now in 1987. We started off as up on the Louth Road at the place called the Conifers there, as a conifer nursery. And we progressed down to here, bought this land, I say, in 87. We then, started developing it, but everything you see now is being done through evolution. We didn't plan it as such, what we were doing. It just came along. We did...
What year was this? How many years ago?
Well, 1987 we bought the land, as I say. And then we planted the maze as rows of trees to dig and put into a tunnel, polytunnel that is, and then sell them as larger trees. Didn't work down here because the land's too heavy. It's a solid clay. So the chap that was working for me at the time suggested, and I took it up, that we used the ones that were still left and made a maze. So I designed a maze on paper. He put the sticks in and so forth and the canes to make it and start it. Came to me and said, it ain't hard enough.
Oh, it's too easy to escape.
Yep. So I said he'd done a horticultural course at Merris Wood and landscape design. So I says, okay, do what you think. So we replanned it with the canes that we'd got, because already got the rows in, but we were putting cross pieces in. And then he came up with an idea, went and had a look, and I says, yep, okay, I can see what you're saying, we'll do it that way. So we did, and at that time, all top secret and clandestine stuff, we called it Project M.
Project M, right, okay. Sounds like a film, a thriller.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So that's how we started, and at that time we'd only 2 entrances into it, and the aim was to find the middle, which was a sundial in the middle, and that was great until one day I was in the shop down at the nursery and I heard screaming, distressed screaming. A young lass had got lost, and the grown-ups with her thought it was fun, but I went down to find out why and what was happening, and poor little kid was sobbing her heart out. She wasn't happy at all.
She just couldn't get out?
No, well, she had got out by then,
right,
but she was really distressed. So I said to the lad that worked for me at the time, we're going to have to do something about this. We can't have people in there lost like that. We're going to have to build a tower or something. So I came up with the idea of a gallery all the way along the top, a ramp coming out of it and a ramp going in, because
So it's an easy escape maze now if you need to get out.
yeah, and people can be up on the gallery directing people through.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Now we've got 3 entrances, one on each side, well, 2 on one side and 1 on the other. But if, as well, one of the games we play in there is give them 2 blindfolds if there's enough people, put 1 person on one side, 1 person on the other, 2 people upon the gallery direct the 2 people through the maze to see who can get to the other side first, which is one of the silly games we play.
I see. Now, when you open, you're not open as we're speaking. It's summer holidays. Well, children's holidays from school is when you tend to open the gates.
Yeah, we open up Easter, or the week before Easter, ready for Easter. And then when the children go back after the summer holiday, then we close up. But we're open 7 days a week from then.
Now, it's a popular attraction?
Yeah, we get enough people in to keep ticking over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, aside from the maze, we need to talk about your other career. You're only looking at Uncle Doddy. If you're a youth or ever have been a youth in Lincolnshire, you may have entertained them. Tell us a bit about Uncle Doddy. And is he still on the go?
No, Uncle Doddy has retired.
Oh.
Yep. But I did 38 years as a children's entertainer. And, well, during the Christmas period, I used to have printed a Christmas cracker type design, folded paper, or like a Christmas card. I used to have 1,000 printed, and I'd none left at the Christmas.
Wow.
So I saw a lot of children over that period. Yeah.
People will be watching this, some people, and be thinking, wow, I think I recognise that fella. You would wear a different outfit to this, though, on Uncle Doddy days.
Yeah, a little bit more flamboyant. But, I think probably, some people come to the maze and look and think, I know you.
It's Uncle Doddy.
It is.
And this was magic and entertainment.
Yeah, well, I used to do a games session. For a 2-hour party, I'd do a games 3/4 of an hour, half an hour for tea, and then 3/4 of an hour magic show.
Fantastic. Bring back Uncle Doddy, I say. Let's have a campaign. Yes. Ted, it's been really great talking to you, and long may the maze continue. Is that the plan? The maze will continue for a long time?
Well, as the saying goes, as long as I'm around, it might do.
Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
And there goes another episode of the Links Pod. Thank you to all the contributors, Keza on camera, and please do remember to hit subscribe, follow, like, that notification bell, and all those things. Please consider sponsoring an episode. I can only keep going if you do. It's john@linkspod.co.uk. I'll catch you next week. Next week's episode comes out on Monday, the 24th of February. Have a good one until then.
LinksPod. Never miss an episode. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.